How's it going, you Precalc crazy cats? Today we're looking at 4.2b. We're going to call this one solving triangles. First, I want to do a quick review with you guys. This is from geometry, a long time ago, but something that we're good. Nice drawing. That's again the cheating way. Okay. Two types of triangles we need to know about. Noteworthy stuff, guys. You have your 45 isosceles right triangle. Okay? Those are your degree measures. If this side is x, then this side is x because they're congruent, and this side is x times square root of 2. So what that means is that this side is 3, then this side is 3, and this side is 3 square root of 2. Okay, for all triangles that are isosceles right triangles, they're 45s. Now let's take a look at this 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now this one, if this side is x, this one's 2x, and this one is x square root of 3. So if this side was 5, this side would be 10, and this side would be 5 square root of 3. Now you might be asking yourself, Mr. Williger, why are you showing us this stuff? This seems like old hat. When we talk about the unit circle, which we haven't yet, these are going to be pretty important. The book's going to ask you to do things like, and I am find cosine of 45 degrees without using a calculator. Okay? And they won't give you a triangle and they won't give sides. What you do is you have to draw out the triangle. Well, 45 is x root 2, right? Here's my 45-degree angle. Remember, cosine is your adjacent over hypotenuse. What's my adjacent to 45? Well, it's x. So one that's next to it, that's not the hypotenuse. My hypotenuse is x over root 2. So these cancel. So you get 1 over square root 2. Which when we rationalize it, times both these by square root 2, times by square root of 2, you get square root of 2 over 2. Found out without using a calculator. Okay? Let's come up with one more quick example. Let's say they say do tan of 60. So again, we think about 30, 60, 90. X, 2x, x root 3. Here's 60 degrees, right? Tangent is opposite over adjacent. My opposite is x square root of 3. My adjacent is x. Those cancel, and you get square root of 3. Okay? Again, you don't need a calculator because you need to know those ratios. And I'm going to make you guys memorize parts of the unit circle because it will make your life a whole lot easier. Just trust me on it. Okay. 4 and onward. Be careful, guys. Here's what I mean. Cosine of an angle equals a ratio of sides. Side 1 over side 2. Okay? Cosine of an angle equals ratio of sides. Arc cosine is negative 1. You put a ratio of sides and you get that angle out there. I'm going to put A for angle. Okay? So arc cosine of a ratio of sides equals angle. So if you're given an angle and you need to find the side, you use cosine. If you're given sides and you need to find an angle, use your arc cosine, which we're going to talk about again. I'm just foreshadowing. So B, careful. Okay? What's this, a blank triangle? Okay, we have a right triangle here. We have a hypotenuse. We need to find the opposite side. So let's go through and see what we can use. Again, this is the angle I'm given, and I'm looking for the side opposite it, right? And I'm given the hypotenuse. So let's think of our SOH CAH TOA. Which one of these has an opposite and a hypotenuse? Well, sine does, right? So we go sine of 35 degrees equals our opposite over hypotenuse. Okay? Then we multiply both sides by 15. Plug it into our handy dandy calculating machine. And we get x equals about 8.6. That's all there is to it, guys. Okay. You want to see one more example? Good. Where are you? A question they're going to ask you to do is solve a right triangle. Solving it means find all sides and angles. Okay. So in this one they give you a right triangle. They give you an angle 43. And the hypotenuse is 5. So now we have to find everything else. So I'm going to name this X, Y, and Z. Now, the first thing that should pop in your head is, what do all the angles inside of a triangle add up to? Well, they all add up to 180, right? So Z plus 43 plus 90 equals 180 degrees. 90, 43, and Z. So Z will equal 47 degrees. Okay. Other two angles, the other one's going to be 90, guys. Call angle A. So A, I skipped that one, I don't know. A equals 90 degrees. Okay. Let's find X. What relationship is X to 43? Well, that's adjacent. It's touching it, but not hypotenuse. This 5, hypotenuse, Y is the opposite. So, which one of my SOH CAH TOA has an adjacent and a hypotenuse? Well, cosine. So I go cosine of 43 equals my adjacent over my hypotenuse, right? Multiply both sides by 5. Use my handy dandy calculator. I can't even say calculator anymore, guys. And I get X equals 3.657 Ta-da! Okay. Now I'm going to use trig to find y, just for fun. Now we have an opposite and an adjacent now, don't we? Yeah. So let's use hypotenuse though, because that's 5. So we're going to set up using our sine. So sine of 43 equals our opposite over our hypotenuse. Okay, so we times both sides by 5. Plug it into our handy dandy calculator. We get about 3.41. Okay, and we're done. That's all there is to it. Capiche? Capiche. I take back. We're going to do one more quick example because there's one thing I didn't show you guys that's kind of important. Let's say you have a triangle, right? And that's x. This is 3 and this is, I don't know, 49 degrees. Okay. So here's what I do. I have a hypotenuse, I have an adjacent, right? So I go cosine of 49 degrees, because that's my CAH, adjacent hypotenuse, equals 3 over x. Do you see how this one's different? Now a lot of people get stuck here, like how do I get rid of that x on the bottom? You kind of have to go in a circular route to get rid of it. Okay? What do I mean by that? We kind of have to do a step to jostle it around. So first thing we do is multiply both sides by x. So those cancel. So you get x times cosine of 49 equals 3. How do I get rid of that cosine of 49? And do you guys remember that one trick I taught you where you're going to switch these two numbers? I feel like I've done that too. So we divide both sides by cosine of 49. And x equals, plug in my calculator, well, 4.57. Okay? So be careful with those x's on the bottom. Just multiply both sides by x. Okay? Done.